Hello, welcome back to our kitchen. I'm Lauren, this is Jenny. We're two of Festival's Mealtime Mentors, and today we are making a super simple sheet pan meal that features one of our favorite ingredients.
That's right, Lauren. Today we are making a crispy sheet pan gnocchi and veggies.
So good, and we'll talk a little bit more about gnocchi in a little bit, but we want to get started on chopping up some of our veggies.
Yes, so as you can see here, we have a red onion. We just took that papery skin off. I'm going to go ahead and cut off the top of it and get rid of that.
Just gives it a flat surface,
Yes.
making it a little bit easier to work with.
A little safer. And then I'm going to cut the onion in half, and I'm going to leave the butt of the onion on.
Yep.
And we're just going to go ahead and cut this into roughly 1-inch pieces. So
Jenny's just making a couple slits, if you will, into the onion.
And it's going almost all the way to the end, but I'm not cutting through the end because keeping it intact keeps that onion together.
Making it a little bit easier to chop.
Yes. There you go. So
Awesome.
1/2 is done.
Just going to put this into a large bowl because we're putting all our ingredients right in here. We're going to mix everything together before we transfer it to our sheet pan.
Yes.
And it's important too when you are using knives in the kitchen to make sure that they are sharp. So a dull knife is actually less safe than using a sharp knife. And if your knives need to be sharpened, we actually provide free knife sharpening at Festival. You can go to our meat department. They'll sharpen up to 3 at a time, and we'll pretty much do any type of knife except for a serrated knife.
Pretty neat service.
Yes.
All right, next we've got our garlic, so lots of great flavor there. And we're just going to smash these cloves. So using the flat side of the knife, I'm just going to use the heel of my hand and smash it.
And this will just help release some of the great flavors of the garlic.
There we go.
By just smashing it.
Yep, and last we've got our rosemary. So again, a lot of great fresh flavor here. We need about a teaspoon. So it's fresh rosemary still on the sprig, and to get those leaves off, instead of picking them off one by one, you can just grab it and pull down.
And go against the grain there.
Yeah. Just give this a rough chop.
Awesome.
And there we go.
It smells so fresh.
It does.
Love that. All right, so we can move on to our other ingredients. We mentioned earlier that we're using gnocchi in this recipe, and gnocchi is a type of pasta that is like a potato dumpling is something that other people will call it, but it's essentially flour and potatoes. So the variety we're using today uses a whole wheat flour, and it uses sweet potato actually, so a little bit different, but of course you could just use a regular potato style gnocchi. So we're just going to put this whole container into our bowl.
And I love that this is already like pre-made for you, and you can find it just in our pasta section.
Yeah, so another way to cook gnocchi is to boil it, and then they float to the top, but we're actually you can just bake it in the oven, which is kind of fun. We're going to use some cherry or grape tomatoes, some broccoli florets. I love roasted broccoli.
Same.
Amazing. And then just some 1-inch pieces of pepper. Today we're using sweet pepper, so a red and an orange. But the great thing about this recipe is you can really customize it with all your favorite veggies, which is really fun. So the only thing we're adding now is just a little bit of olive oil and then salt and pepper.
Yeah, super simple.
So we get a lot of great flavors from the fresh herbs that we're using and then the garlic as well. And I'm just going to, maybe, Jenny, I'll have you give this a quick toss as I get our sheet pan together over here.
I love all these colors. So the sheet pan we just lightly sprayed with some cooking spray. You could also line it with parchment paper to make cleanup a little easier.
Yes, but sheet pan meals are great because everything cooks right on this pan, so there are really not too many dishes. Making it a super easy weeknight meal.
Yes.
All right, pop this in the oven.
All right, so Laura's going to take that and put it in the oven at 450. It'll cook for about 18 to 20 minutes. We just want the gnocchi to be nice and brown and then the veggies to be caramelized. So we do have a finished pan coming right up.
It looks so good.
Look at that broccoli.
I love, too, all the cherry tomatoes, how they
like
burst and then shrivel. So good.
Yum.
All right.
Okay.
Let's serve this up. And the gnocchi looks really good, too. This is really meant to be crispy.
Yes.
So that's definitely what we have going on here.
It's a different texture because normally you, like you said, you boil.
Yes, it's definitely usually a lot fluffier.
Yeah, but I love this texture.
Yes.
All right, so to garnish, we have some Parmesan cheese and some basil.
And you could use like a balsamic reduction or a balsamic glaze would be really nice here too. Any of your favorite cheese would work.
Yeah.
You can omit the cheese.
Would you like some balsamic?
Sure. I'm a big fan of just a little bit of balsamic
Just a
reduction.
touch.
And you can find this in our stores as well. You don't need to make your own. And it's typically found by the vinegars
Yum.
in the store.
All right.
Let's give this a try. I'm going to try a piece of gnocchi. It's so crispy. It's very chewy, but
It's super
very,
crispy.
very good.
I love that touch of balsamic on it. It's delicious.
yes, and the Parmesan as well. Well, we hope you give this easy sheet pan meal a try this week.
And for more recipes and resources from your mealtime mentors, visit festfoods.com.